Hey guys, this is Vanngo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I invite the beautiful Bambi here. She lent me her canvas to create this makeup look for you. It is more a sultry, undone, smoky eye. I hope you enjoy the look as much as we created them. Always give the channel a lot of love. Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumb up. And don't forget to follow both of us on Instagram as well. Thank you. To start every makeup, I always prep the skin first. The first product I'm going to use is the lip balm. The brand I'm using today is Vanngo. I'm going to try to use this brand for everything. It's not sponsored, but this is actually one of the very beautiful skincare brand that you can find them all the drugstore everywhere. And they're actually, the price point very affordable and they're really nice, very beautiful brand. And the next step, I'm using the eye cream. They have really great cleanser, makeup remover. I use it a lot for remove makeup. Very gentle. It's a French brand. I just got back from Cannes and I remember see everywhere at the pharmacy there, and I said, oh, I have the product, I should try them, I should use them, I mean. For the serum, I'm using the antioxidant serum. They also have one serum that for blemishes control, which I use on my face when I wear some makeup for YouTube or when I wear anything, I wear a lot of makeup. Because a lot of time I find that my skin get breakouts really easy. I have acne prone skin, so when I use that under the makeup, it's actually help not get breaks out easy. You can try that as well. A little bit of serum. This is the moisturizer I'm using today. Everything from this brand is pretty light texture and not too heavy. This cream is the only thing that I feel is a little thicker, but it is really beautiful under makeup. Don't forget to put some on your neck as well. Give your face a lot of love, little massage. For foundation and concealer today, I'm using from a brand called Giorgio Armani. This is a cult favorite. The shade I'm using is 5.25 for both the foundation and concealer. This is quite a cult favorite foundation. I think most you guys love this foundation. Very luminous. It's medium to buildable, full coverage finish. I think this is a great foundation for people to use every day, or for bridal, for photo shoot. It's pretty good all around foundation. And you can see I use a little bit at a time and just blend it out. Bambi have really gorgeous skin. You don't need to put too much. I just want to put a little bit everywhere and just blend it out. I don't want to cover every freckle or anything she has because I want to leave them pretty fresh still. So you can see that I put a little bit and blend out everywhere. Where you want to cover more. Bambi does have a tiny bit pigmentation a little bit here. I just press the product more, tippling like this. You cover more. Everywhere you want very sheer coverage, you just go one stroke like that, and that's all you need. This foundation is luminous. It covers really well. You don't need too much. I think this is great foundation for bridal, for everyday wear. It's very beautiful foundation. For concealer, I'm using mainly a little bit under the eye area and just around the nose area. I don't think she needs anywhere else. Since I'm not gonna do a lot of eye makeup, but then I still want the eye shadow go all around the eye, so I'm not gonna cover too much concealer. I want to leave some of the natural shadow, and I just conceal it mostly on this area here and around the nose area. This concealer is very beautiful, but to me it's more a medium coverage concealer. If you want more a fuller coverage concealer, this might not be the right one for you. It's buildable, but I feel it's still very sheer. It's not a heavy coverage concealer at all. And then anywhere else you want to pinpoint, you use the same brush or the smaller brush. You want to cover more. For bronzer, I'm going to use two different products from Charlotte Tilbury. The first product I'm using is the cream bronzer. I'm using this as a contour shading, just define the jawline, the cheekbone and everything. This is the new product they have just came out. The shade I'm using for this is number 1. For the powder bronzer, I'm using the number 2. Their shade is not match each other, so it's up to you. I don't want too much of the color on the face, so I'm using this one is just the number 1. And it gives a very beautiful subtle contour, which I love. And I love this new product she has. If you ask me how this would compare to, I would say it's very similar, the texture, to the Chanel bronzer that I normally use. The only difference is this bit more balmy, the other one a little more drier. They're both beautiful. It depends personal preference. This one comes in 4 shades, the Chanel one, now they have 2. But I believe they are extending more shade as well. Bambi, I could use the shade number 2, but I love this shade number 1 because I feel they're more taupier, they're not too warm, they're more a natural shadow on the skin, which I like. And you see what I do, I use a little bit on around the jawline, the cheekbone, just to define the perimeter of the face a little more. For Bambi's skin color, she could have get away with a number 2 as well. Depend what you want to use the bronzer for, the purpose. For this look, I'm using just as sculpting shading. Then I want to use more a taupey, more a neutral tone. But if you want more warm, more golden, then you can go for number 2. I find the number 2, they are a little too warm. And if you use just a bronzer, then it's perfect. But if you want to use for the purpose I'm using, I would like to use number 1 better. For powder, I'm going to use this powder from Refine. They come in 2 different shades. One is translucent, one have a little color like this. And I'm using the second shade they have. This is a very unique texture. I mean, if you touch them, look up for me, it's a little wet. It feels like it's a little wet texture, but when it's set, it looks more a matte texture. So it's a very innovative texture for me. Very, very natural, very sheer powder. So this is my first time trying it, but I like it very much. You can see that. If you actually touch them, it feels like a wet texture, right? It feels on the skin like a wet texture. But when you set them, it's actually matte the skin. So it's very beautiful actually. And it doesn't look like she wears any powder at all, which I love. Bambi just told me that the powder is feel, how you say it, it's feel wet, but it's really nice.
It's a mist.
Yeah, it's like a mist, so it's very cooling. It's very interesting texture if you guys have to feel it. I mean, it's matte the face, but then it feels like it's a wet texture. I mean, I have never seen anything like that before, so I think it's quite interesting texture, and it does a job. It's matte the skin very well. It's just really cool in the same time. It's like a mist on the face as a powder. I'm using the bronzer, number 2. This is the powder bronzer to set where I used the cream bronzer earlier. You don't have to use this at all. You can use just the powder, but I usually use powder bronzer, set the contour, set the cream bronzer. It's just a habit. I think it's like it still gives more color on the face, which I love. For eyebrow, I'm going to use a brow marker from Vanngo. Bambi have such beautiful brow that I don't want to fill too much. I'm just going to use a marker just to fill in a few individual hair. That way I think it needs to fill in, but I mean her eyebrow is pretty flawless by itself. And you see like just the back here, I just feel a few little one. And I think if you use pencil drawing, it can be a little too much. So just a tiny bit like this. Is that all you need? Just enhance the eyebrow more. You see it just a little bit like that. For someone with brow like this, you don't want to fill them more because it's going to take over the whole face. So you just use the marker, just fill in a few individual hair. And I think it's pretty good like that already. Just for 1 or 2. And feel right here. So it's something like that, and then you can use the gel on the other side to set the eyebrow. You can do the same on the other side. For eyes, I'm going to use these 3 products. The first product is eyeshadow stick from Bobbi Brown. It's more like a taupey, cooler tone color. And the new pencil from Fenty. This is more a coat pencil, so you can blend as much you want to. And the mascara is from Lancome. This is also a new product they have. It's a new mascara. It's more serum mascara. It's very hydrating and revitalize the lashes. So I want to try this one as well. For the eye, because I'm going to do more somewhat softer on the eye, so I'm just going to use one color. Close your eye. You can use directly on the eyelids if you like to, but then use the brush, just blend it out. Or you can apply it like this way as well to use, that's the eyeshadow. So whatever easier for you. Some people they use a finger. That's a great thing about these eyeshadow sticks. They're so easy to apply. Bambi have such a beautiful eye shape. I just want to lift it up a little, this area here. And the black liner, I'm just gonna extend the eye a little longer, but I'm not gonna play too much with the eye color, and I keep somewhat softer. In the same color, you see what I'm doing, and just blend it up. This is a great way for someone who not so good at doing eye makeup, that you don't have to do too many different eye color and it's get complicated. This is just one shade. You want more depth on the lash line, you just a bit more, and then use the brush, blend it out. And then slowly just fade it up with the same color so it look a little lighter than that. I'm doing the same on the other side. This is a great thing about eyeshadow stick. You know, you can just so easy, you just blend it out. And then look up for me. I'm gonna use a little bit on the lower lash line as well and blend it out. These eyeshadow sticks, they are long wear. They are water resistant. So remember, you do one eye at a time because it does set. When it's set, it's harder to blend. And that's why it holds really well for you. So you just do like the way I do one eye at a time. There are many brands that make these kind of texture on the stick, you know. So you can try from Laura Mercier, by Terry. Now I think It's Cosmetic also have them. Many brands have it. So they are very similar from each other. So it's up to you. You can play with all of them. And I put a little more on the upper lash line on the outer part. So it's get a little more depth. And you see that I always blend it outward and upward. Bambi normally use more warm tone. She loves peach and golden and bronze. So today I told her I want to go more cool tone because I think it's still very beautiful on her. I feel that a lot of people sleep on cool tone, but for me it's so chic. The tone's always so beautiful on people. So it's up to you what you're gonna use right here. You can use a lighter color to give you a little highlight there. I myself usually don't. I find that because the way the eye shape, even if you put the same color, it's still gonna photograph lighter in that area. You can see that it looks like a little natural highlight already. You don't need to use a lighter color to get that highlight because sometimes it shortens the eye. So I just use the same color. I just do a little bit there. And it still gives you that little highlight on the corner there because that natural tear duct there, you can actually lift the eye with a highlight. And then if someone have a little hooded eye, you can lift it a little bit more. You put a bit more here. And it gives it more color there. So at this part here, you can just be like that and to go. Or sometimes I use the same color. I put this on the waterline as well. And it gives you that more sultry. You see that it's quite beautiful on the waterline as well. Next, I'm using the black kohl pencil. This one I'm using mainly from the outer part of the upper lash line. And then I just smudge it out a little bit, just give it more depth. See? Yeah, I think it's so beautiful. And then so depend on each person's eye. You see what I'm doing right now is I just do a little bit in the corner here and I just blend it outward. And what I'm gonna do as well, the brush earlier, there's nothing there. I'm using that to clean up the black a little bit. This is a kohl pencil, so you can really blend them easy. It's a long way, a little tricky for you. So now you can do that just the upper, or I changed my mind. I'm gonna do a little bit on the lower outer part as well, the lash line and outer part. Just a little bit. And that's what about makeup is, you know, like when you see on someone and you change your mind, you add more, take away a little bit at a time. Because I think this is just gonna elongate her eye even more. And then just blend it out on just the corner, outer part of the corner. And using this way, just keep her eye shape is quite beautiful. I didn't plan to do on the bottom here like that, but I think now it's give her eye shape quite a beautiful shape. See again, close again. You can always lift it up and smudge it more. And then close the eye and blend it out. Close again. again. See, something like that. What I'm going to do as well, look down for me, same pencil, I do a little bit on the outer corner here on the waterline, the upper waterline, but I don't want to go all the way inside. I just do mainly on the outer part here. This way it's give a lot of depth and it keep her eye more lift. See that? It's just really beautiful. And we do the same on this side as well. Always curl your lashes, even just a little pinch is still good. Look down for me. I'm going to use 2 coats on the upper lashes and 1 on the lower lashes. This mascara quite beautiful. It does give you volume, but it's not clumpy, so it's still defined in volume. For highlighter, I'm going to use the liquid highlighter from Lisa Eldridge Makeup. The shade I'm using is called Cosmic Rose. This is, to me, is very beautiful highlighter. It's like glow from within, not too bling bling poppy. So if you like something more subtle that give you that beautiful glow, this is a great one. You can use this before the foundation, after foundation, on top of the powder. You know, it's still able to blend. You can see this after the skin set, I still able to apply the highlighter without disturbing the foundation. I do a little bit on the cheekbone. It does have that blurring effect as well, and it's infused serum, so it's great highlighter for the skin. A little bit on the nose, cupid bow, anywhere that you want to give a little. For blush, I'm going to use this blush palette from One Side Beauty. They have 3 different names, so we're gonna list everything in the description box for you. But it comes with 3 different texture: cream, shimmer, like this is satin, that's kind of metallic texture, and then this is more matte texture. I'm using mainly the cream and the matte texture. Actually, I'm just gonna use the matte texture only for this. I think the shade is beautiful. I think all the palette, I have like all different palettes from them, and they are really beautiful shades. I'm gonna try this shade right now. The color I'm using more cool tone, but this time I use them a little color on the cheek. I think it's nice so the face to have a lot of life. It doesn't look too flat. And remember, it's also very pigmented. So you see how I do the blush. I do a little bit at a time. And that's how you should always apply the product. You see that it's get a lot of pigment. You don't want to do like this and then the color go everywhere. See, I just do a little bit at a time and blend it out. The same on the other side. You don't need too much. And that's how you should apply when it comes to powder, because you know, any type of formulation, if you do like this, it's gonna have a lot of feedback. So it's better just do very little at a time, like the way I do. Easy to blend. And you can always use whatever left on the foundation brush just to blend it out. If you do the blush a little too low or too much, you can also use this just to soften out. That's the easiest way to soften out the blush. For lips, I'm going to use 2 different products. One is a lip liner from Anastasia Beverly Hills. One is a lipstick from Sunny Face. This is a Filipino brand. They actually launched in the US now. You can order online. Beautiful matte formulation. I'm going to do the lip liner after because I think she has beautiful lip shape. I don't want to overdraw, nothing at all. I'm going to use the lipstick first and then just touch up around the lip liner after with the lip liner. But you don't have to do it first. It's up to personal preference, but I think I still want the lips look pretty soft. And then I just use the lip liner, just touch up the outline a little bit. I don't want to make it too heavy on the liner. So you see I just do a little bit at a time. And the color is pretty close to each other. To set the makeup, I'm going to use a setting spray from the Nessa Maris. Close your eye for me. That is the final look, guys. I hope you enjoy the look. I mean, we didn't really know what we planned to do, so I add a little more, a little bit there. And this is the final look for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give the channel always a lot of love. Subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumb up. And don't forget to follow all of us on Instagram as well. Thank you.